Welcome to this week's supply chain update, brought to you by Phoenix International. Let's start with market conditions. Trans-Pacific demand is steady into August, with carriers rolling back the general rate increase and removing peak season surcharges. On the Far East westbound lane, rates are holding firm, up about 5 to 8% from late July, as retailers prepare for a September volume push. Transatlantic rates remain largely stable, though some carriers are signaling potential GRIs in the East Mediterranean by September. Now, let's take a look at operational updates. Typhoon disruptions in Ningbo and Shanghai caused temporary pauses in container pickups and are slowing some vessel departures. Equipment availability is improving overall, though shortages persist with certain carriers. In Europe, congestion is a major strain. Antwerp's dwell times are exceeding 8 days, and inland regions like Austria and Hungary are facing container and chassis shortages. Turning to capacity management, Trans-Pacific capacity remains high at 70 to 80% of normal levels, keeping space open. On the Far East westbound trade, early August sailings are already tight, with bookings building toward a late-month surge. Transatlantic space is holding steady, with blank sailings easing to around 4 to 7%, signaling more balanced management from carriers. President Trump's latest tariff orders are reshaping trade flows. As of August 1st, a baseline 10% duty now applies to all countries, with Canada's rate climbing to 35%. Copper tariffs of 50% were implemented on semi-finished products, while the de minimis exemption for low-value imports will end on August 29th. U.S. ports are warning they could lose out on roughly $1 billion for dredging and harbor maintenance projects. Port authorities in the AAPA say the Army Corps of Engineers' 2025 budget does not fully align with a 2020 law requiring funds to be fairly distributed to the ports contributing the most. Less than truckload carriers are expanding their U.S. networks despite sluggish demand. Both regional and long-haul carriers are reopening former Yellow Corp terminals and adding lanes as they compete for limited shipments, driven by customer demand for faster and broader service. Container spot rates remain flat across key trade lanes as the expected peak season hasn't materialized. Rates on Asia-Europe and Trans-Pacific routes are slipping toward pre-Red Sea crisis levels, leaving carriers managing excess capacity and financial strain even as shippers benefit from softer pricing. And that concludes our update on the global supply chain. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to monitor these developments and keep you informed.